Hi, I'm Scott Ferrell. Question I get asked often is, how do you keep strife or arguments or etc. from destroying your family? And if you do have arguments and strife, etc., how do you solve it? Well, it's no different than a business. How do you handle things in a business? Well, normally you have those wonderful Monday morning meetings where you talk so eloquently to your employees and tell them how much you're glad they're there and the sales are great, keep going. No, that's not normally how those meetings go. But how can you solve problems? A meeting. It worked for the Brady Bunch. Mr. Brady would get on his chalkboard, everybody's sitting in their nice little couch, and they're all talking about how much they want to be part of the family. Well, I used to do that with my family, so it does work. So let's get back to this. When we have a family, what do we want out of our family? A return on investment. What do we want out of our company? A return on investment. How do we do that? Communication. If your employees don't know what's going on in your company, you're not going to make a lot of sales, you're not going to have happy employees, and you're going to have strife. Why is a family any different? We tend to use our best behavior from 9 to 5 instead of from 5 p.m. till 11 at night. We've used it all up with our company family. So let's look at a family and how to stop strife and arguments and how to make a family successful. Have a family meeting. If it's once a week, knock it out. We used to do ours on Thursday night at dinner. Okay, what's going on? What's going on in everybody's lives? I'm the CEO. Mom's senior vice president. Let's get this done. Any beefs, any complaints, any sales quotas not met? Let's get it all on the table now. Now, but before we get to there, we have to have a family goal. We have to have a family reason. We have to have a family vision. Again, we do it from 9 to 5 for our companies. Why don't we do it for our families? We took the time, I'm a second marriage, and this is a blended family. We wrote a family crest. We got our family vision, and we presented it at our meetings, just like it was a shareholder meeting, to make sure everybody was on the same page. And then we addressed all issues. The fastest way to destroy your family or your company is strife. If people can't get along, they're not going to go along, as the cliche would say. So you've got to take that off the table. At a company, I will not allow arguments. On my ball teams when I was a coach, I didn't allow my players to argue. Why? It destroys the team. Why do we allow it in a family? Turn the volume down. I'm talking about vocals now. Sit down and talk to each other. And be very clear about the expectations and the outcomes that everyone in that family is looking for. Now, kids can't always see the future. They haven't experienced what we as parents have. They haven't experienced what we as bosses have. We've got to share that knowledge, but we've got to present it in a way to where they can receive it. Number one problem in families that parents tell me, I'm not making this up, I ask, cell phones. So here's what you do with the cell phone. No more cell phone. We take that out of the equation. Do you allow your employees to sit and text people during your meetings? I know I don't. I know it didn't happen when I was a coaching either. When we were in our huddle, the only voice that was heard was mine. And they definitely knew where we were going as a team. Same thing here. Now, mom and dad, listen to this, please. To be respected, you got to be respectable. To be believed, you got to be believable. For kids to believe that success is available, you have to be successful. Now, everybody has their own definition for success, but it still comes down to what they've observed in you. So if you don't want conflict at home or in business, because you want a return on investment, you've got to be very clear on expectations and communication. So how do you do that? You organize everybody together. You sit down for a family meeting. You get it all out, get it all decided, and move on. And the next week you sit down for a family meeting. I had drive about 3,000 miles. So when I'm in the car that long and I've got to be at restaurants and at hotels, I start asking questions. And I went around and asked families that I saw at restaurants, do you have family meetings? One. And it turns out the dude's the CEO of a fairly large company. If I said the name, you'd know who he was. And he's become a friend of mine. And he said, I've always done this. He's an academy grad. He's everything that I would have loved to have had as my dad. But they did. Every week he, his wife, and the kids, blended family again, sat down, they really were like the Brady Bunch, and worked out all the issues. So my suggestion is, if you got arguing, if you got strife, if you're wondering why your kid's with the wrong crowd, if everybody's going in 20 different directions and you can't get people off of these, might be a good time to stop, time out, reorganize, restructure your family company, sit everybody down, get that mission and vision statement as your family, and figure out the direction that you and everyone else is going. In these meetings too, it's important for everyone to know why they were created. Who's the best person to help them figure that out as far as kids? Mom and dad. But mom and dad, you got to figure that out for yourself first. I know me and my wife both had to know who we were going to be when we grew up to be able to conduct these meetings. And now when I go in and consult with companies, I help organize these meetings at their company. But I also tell CEOs, and you can find it in my latest book, It's Not Them, It's You. I tell CEOs they've got to go home and do their family the same way they did their company. If you want to earn a profit with your family, you had better know where it's going, what it looks like, and where every employee fits. That's the best way to stop strife, arguments, discontentment, whatever it is you want to call it. Now, I realize that popular TV likes to maximize those relationships. But if you look at popular TV, how many of those relationships are happy and successful? So if you want your family and your kids to be a success, I would suggest sitting down, making out an org chart, and go ahead and run your family like a business. I run my family like a business because I also love the people I work with, and I love my family. Something to think about. If you got any questions, go by my website, scotferrell.com, SCOTFERRELL.com. Take care.